guys, what's up Mustangs? Boo Guy F1 back to Forza Motorsport 7 with another ridiculous car build with the 2009 Focus RS. It's already a pretty crazy car from stock, front-wheel drive with 350 horsepower, but as in Horizon 3, you can put the 6.2-liter V8 into it, which will give it 1,063 horsepower going through the front wheels. I was originally used to already have these bits. I saw it on the specialty dealer, so I bought it. I like this car. And then I was going to build a challenge. I didn't think I was going to get into R-Class, but as I was building up the engine, I realized it could actually get into R-Class. I thought it'd be stuck like previous Forza games in S-Class. But nope. Maxed out, this can get in R-Class, unless the turbos, which I did not do because I realized it was getting into R-Class, for some reason do not add any PI. Which is technically a possibility because this vehicle is not going to handle well. I doubt it is going to beat the Aston Martin. As you can see, we're already off the scale, or right at the edge of it, I guess. But yeah, there we go. Now we're properly off the scale. Yep. Because we are now at 612 horsepower in the front-wheel drive Focus. This is as far as I got. 756 horsepower. Yeah, we're not adding very much PI anymore. 770. This is an S1, 800, an S800. It can get 812 horsepower. Jesus Christ. There we go, R-Class, 1,009 horsepower. It's gonna be a low R-Class. We're not gonna get above 810, I don't think. Yeah, we're gonna be stuck at 810, I suspect. Yep. So adding 60 horsepower and a flywheel added 10 PI. That's not much. I think I'm gonna die. Now, the Focus RS 2009 will have to beat a 151.9 set by the Aston Martin DBR9. Throttle control will be key. I did tune it just a little bit so that it wouldn't run out of gears on the straightaway. It might not run out of gears with the standard setup. Whoa, back end is a little slidey on these gold tires. Also, you cannot use a millimeter more throttle than you think, because it will just understeer and understeer and understeer with a side of understeer, with a topping of understeer, and then it will just go more past all of that. It will go into desert of understeer. Yeah, you see we got a little bit of wheel spin in the straights, but it's manageable. Yeah, we're not going very fast. I suspect, I'm actually curious, how much power can it use? So that's 500. We're only able to use around half of its power. Half. It spins away over 400 horsepower. That's a lot of power to be spinning away in the wheels. Which is why you never put this much power in a front-wheel drive car. There we go, put that power down, there we go. That is just about 4th gear, we still get wheel spin. I am going to try and go flat out when we reach 6th gear, but I doubt we're going to be able to go flat out in 6th gear. There we go. Hey, we might actually, because I just went flat out there, we almost got 100% traction. We had some pain, I couldn't think of the word. So I went with pain. There we go. Floor it. There we go, flat out. 180, this is why I lengthened the gears. 190. 197 miles an hour. 213 on our first lap. That's actually not too terrible, considering we were on cold tires and from a standing start with a front-wheel drive car. That's actually not a terrible lap for this vehicle. I thought I would do a lot worse on this opening lap. I mean, it's nowhere near the Aston Martin, but it's the first lap. We're probably going to shave 5 or 6 seconds off, just on the launch alone. But, yeah, that's a lot of speed. That's an awful lot of speed. So it wouldn't quite have topped out, but it would have been very close. So, I'm glad I made those gearing adjustments, just to be on the safer side. Now we're 7 seconds faster. And I will probably get a little bit faster as I learn to push the vehicle a little bit more. It's okay to spin the wheels on the exit of the corner a little bit. Yeah, you burn some power, but you still get a fair old bit of acceleration, which I would argue is a little better than constant throttle management, because it gets to a point of throttle management where you get very, very bored and doesn't seem to be adding anything, and one wrong bit of throttle at the exact wrong moment can send you flying off on the track, which is not good. So my question is, can this break the 2-minute mark? It's going to be a real tough ask, but it has the theoretical potential to do it, because we're already 9 seconds up. Come on. Went 95% throttle there. Around there, I suspect. Nearly. Come on, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, and go! There we go. Full throttle in 5th gear. Lost a little bit of time, 2:05. Okay, so we need to shave off 5 seconds. That's a tough ask. Once again, 197 down the straightaway. I mean, bear in mind, this is arguably the craziest vehicle we have ever driven down here so far. So, I mean, every vehicle here is either in 4-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. So this is the first front-wheel drive vehicle we have done, excluding the Prelude, and the Prelude had 775 horsepower. This has 300 horsepower more, give or take. And it's not too terrible, actually, I will be honest. I mean, it's taking... it's not a very good corner speed, but considering the power and the amount of effort that these front wheels have to exert, that's incredible speed. That's 100 miles an hour through that corner. And that's 87 through that one. That's impressive. I am genuinely impressed with this vehicle, because this is not exactly a suitable amount of power. This vehicle is designed for 300 horsepower, much less 1,000 horsepower. And it's only using probably 500 or 600 horsepower of that. Of course, no! Oh, it was going so well. I was 1.5 seconds up. Gosh dang it, I pushed my luck in that hairpin. I hate that hairpin. 145 down that is very good considering the slow exit speed. If this is a faster one, I'll be amazed, because that was a huge sideways movement. It might actually be better to take a late apex on this car, just because that allows us to use every molecule of speed. That is faster, 7/10 of a second at 2:04.5 dead. But I'm debating whether or not to go for the late apexes. Ah, crap. There's a terrible opening start section thingy. Just because... I'm going to try on this lap. I'm going to try because this lap's already done. But... because late apex might genuinely help this vehicle eke out every single bit of straight line speed it has. It gives us the longest straightaway possible. It may only be a few feet, but that's a few feet more it has to spend, like, getting rid of the wheel spin, so that's a few more feet to reduce the wheel spin, which may be extremely beneficial. I'll try on this corner. Oy. So we're gonna brake later and sweep in. Brake later and sweep in. Yeah, I feel like that's faster. We'll see, we were negative. Let's see if it was positive now. Alright, we can't quite do we can't do late apexes on that. I pushed a little hard on the brakes there. But this area should be, yeah, we're way slower. So on this, it was worth a try. It was worth a try. I mean, is it going to win? No. I think it's mission. I wanted to go faster than that Honda S800. I wanted to go faster than that. Because the Honda was terrifying. It was rear-wheel drive, it had smaller tires than this. It did have less power, it had a 2-liter rotary, I believe. Had a 2-rotor racing engine. So, this has 300 more horsepower. How was that lap faster as a 2:04.164? Oh, lock the brakes up, that's not good, that's not good. Somehow managing to stop that was a little scary. Oh, that's the corner cut. I do apologize. It didn't really help me, though. Crap. And there's my run over. Okay, so let's just see how long I spin the wheels. Because that is a 2:04.1. That's really annoying. You know what? Not gonna count it. I am gonna do a 6th lap. I'm not gonna count it, though. Just to see if I could go any faster if I was allowed a 6th lap. Which I am not. However, it is a scientific experiment for fun. Okay? I was just pushing it a tad bit too hard. And if you push this vehicle, like I said earlier, if you give it 1% too much throttle, the wheels will spin, and you are done. You are just done, and you are going off the track, or you are running wide and screwing yourself up for the next corner. There's just no hope of recovering that afterwards. So, yeah, it's a very... If you get it right, it's surprisingly quick. If you get it wrong, you're done. But, yeah, a 2:04, I mean, it's not terrible at all, don't get me wrong, but it's still a fair bit down. Again, we weren't expecting this to be any of the top 3, but I was hoping for it to go faster than some of the other vehicles on this list. I mean, it's very fast in a straight line. Like, obscenely fast. Like, there's 200 miles an hour. Can I get it stopped before the grass? Not really. Can't really get this thing stopped. Surprisingly easy to drive, but still very much difficult. I didn't hold the handbrake there. That was a time of 2:04.146. Unfortunately, the ridiculous focus will go into last place. If I didn't push hard, or too hard into that corner, I might have eked out a second to last. Because it is a little under a second slower than the S800. And it's a fair way slower than the Aston Martin, unsurprisingly. I really don't think it should be at the bottom of the table, especially considering the difficulty in driving. I will learn English eventually. But I think this is one of the most impressive vehicles of the lot, because we had the Honda S800, which was terrible to drive. We had the Arctic truck, which was just wheel spinning. We had the Subaru, which is even more wheel spinning. That's in the top. That's another vehicle that got into the top 3, solely because of its acceleration. I think it had ludicrous acceleration thanks to 4-wheel drive, not so good around the corners. This was marginal around the corners, better than expected, but marginal still. and very good in a straight line, and the only real problem I would say is if you didn't get it 100% spot on, you were going off the track, which makes it extremely difficult to drive. But now we must see how the Focus will fare in a straight line. Now, the Focus will have to be tested at Le Mans. And this does have a bit of a disadvantage because it has over 200 pounds of downforce on it when you remove as much as you can. You can have over 650 pounds of downforce on this vehicle if you put it all to the max. It had over 400 pounds of downforce when I was racing it around the track. That's a lot for a little hot hatch. I think I found out why it was rather decent through the corners. It's because it had a third of its weight on it. That is very impressive. I was genuinely surprised at that. We're up to 220 miles an hour. We're up to 225. Can this go faster than the Fire Breather 228? 229. There we go. 230. We're topping out. 230. 231. Come on, get 232. 232. 232. No, 231 is all we got. And how did we make it around that corner at 225 miles an hour? And then we get it stopped very easily. We set the brakes on fire, as per usual. That is very good. Very, very good for a front-wheel drive hatchback. That deserves some reverse celebratory donuts from the Ford, because that is very impressive. We are just going to do a little bit of donuts, and as I'm doing the donuts, I will go ahead and find out how fast this went on the leaderboard. Ignore that. And with a speed of 231 miles an hour, the Ford Focus RS 2009 with the very silly wing placement will go into a surprising 5th place, 1 mile an hour down on an ACR Viper. The Viper was almost humiliated by a front-wheel drive Focus. That is very good. It is a couple miles an hour faster than Christine, faster than the Arctic truck, faster than the S800. It's a fair way down on that Subaru Legacy, which went 254, which is just stupid. But yeah, a top 5 finish for a front-wheel drive car. That is very impressive. That is very impressive. That deserves another batch of celebratory donuts. Because why not? Yeah. It's surprisingly good around a track. It isn't last, but it's surprisingly good around a track. And around Le Mans, on a straight line, it's better than a fair bit more than you would expect it to. Pretty much the definition of a sleeper vehicle. If you take off the silly amounts of downforce called the front splitter and wing, you have a serious sleeper here. But that is it for this episode of Forza Motorsports. I'll be back with more